African civil society organizations have made crucial contributions to the independence and effective operations of African human rights institutions. Today, Human Rights Watch held a press conference detailing the World Report 2023 on conflicts threatening human rights in Africa. Here is more of the same.
There has been some progress in ensuring justice for serious crimes. Human Rights Watch said trials began in the Central African Republic and Guinea, while the International Crime Court opened trials for serious crimes implicating multi-leaders in Central Africa and Sudan. In northern Ethiopia, the conflict in Tigray, Amhara, and Afar regions has devastated the civilian population, significant parts of the Tigray population remaining displaced and without access to desperately need humanitarian assistance. In Oromia, fighting between Ethiopian Federal Forces and Rebel Oromia Liberation Army intensified. Efforts were stifled to hold account to those responsible for the serious crimes.
Eritrea resorted to punishing families and individuals seeking to avoid widespread prolonged conscription. We keep receiving reports with documented arbitrary arrests and evictions of relatives of people, including women with children and older people. Eritrea continued to hold people perceived as opponents to its regime illegally for years, and it suppresses religious freedom. And of course, again, Eritrean forces have remained in Tigray throughout the country's two-year-long conflict, including after the Ethiopian federal government pulled out its forces in July 2021.
As of 2020, a sum of 3,111 homicides were reported to the Kenya police, increasing from 2,971 in the previous year, which most of the murders can be attributed to a lack of proper mental health. Dr. Elizabeth Kamundia called on the government to invest more in the mental health to ensure that anyone can get mental health services at the community level.
If you think about access to mental health services, if you're living in a rural area, far, in the far reaches of the country, and there is no psychiatrist or, the local health center cannot offer you psychosocial support, then matters escalate. But if you could access mental health services close to where you live with psychologists, with a range of options, I think we will see a decline in some of these issues.
The lack of safe and legal migration pathways and barriers to Islam within and outside Africa, combined with the pressure from European Union and its member state, has resulted in migrant deaths, abuse, exploitation, and discrimination. Across parts of Africa, internally displaced people, refugees, and migrants have been driven far from home by armed conflicts, repression, communal violence, poverty, environmental factors, and Eritrea and Cameroon, forcibly returned to asylum seekers, have faced arbitrary detention and abuse in Nigeria. Government enforced displacement camp closures pushed thousands into deeper destruction. Africa civil society organizations have made crucial contribution to the independence and effectiveness of Africa human rights institutions.